Do you ever feel like you're completely different from everyone you know? Your family, the other students in your school? Can you imagine your differences putting your life in danger? Hobbo has always been different from his family.
I move over to the corner I sleep in and start piling my clothes into the middle of my blanket with my white hands, not black and strong like Enzi's, not black and slender like Asu's, not black and stumpy like Chewy's, and not black and calloused like Mother's. Milk white, bone white, ghost white.
He is different from the boys and girls at the village school.
By the time I made it into the thatched three-walled schoolhouse in the village, I was late, palms sweating, mind racing. I hovered by the mud wall, listening to the hum of children's voices as they greeted one another. "You're not getting any earlier," I finally told it myself and forced my feet across the threshold. When I entered, 100 dark eyes swiveled around to stare at me. I had no one to go to, no one I knew who I could sit next to on the floor. I stood there unable to move. Then, like locusts coming in, destroying New Year's crops, the whispers spread through the room. Among it, the general hiss. I distinctly heard Chewy's voice whispering, "Matoto, Beppo, Ghost Boy."
Hobbo is albino, called Ziru Ziru by many of the Tanzanian people, which means his skin lacks the protection and color provided by the pigment melanin. He must stay indoors as much as possible and keep his skin covered when he does go out, for it burns far too easily in the Tanzanian sun. He also has poor eyesight due to albinism, and these two factors prevent him from helping to provide for his family as his brothers do. After returning from herding the family's goats one evening, Hobbo overhears some men from the village talking to his mother and sister.
"No, you cannot have 3 more months to pay your taxes. No, you cannot have more seed if you do not pay. No, you cannot stay here any more."
With these pronouncements, Hobbo's family is forced to leave the safe village he has always known, and his life changes forever.
With the first step, I feel a terrible shift in my chest. This leaving is not the leaving for river school. This leaving is the kind of leaving you do at a gravesite. It's a leaving that is also giving up. Our home is no longer our home. Our farm is no longer our farm.
As uncomfortable as his life in the village sometimes was, Hobbo learns that cruelty in the world beyond his village cuts deep when he and his family cross paths with an elephant poacher in the Serengeti.
I can't get past the image in my head of the gigantic elephant rotting out in the scrubland. Not because anyone needed to eat it, but because little pieces of it could be sold for a great deal of money.
Just when they arrive at the home of his aunt, where he believes they will be cared for and safe, he learns that the hair, the legs, the hands, and the skin of an albino boy are used in making luck medicine, and worth a lot of money to those willing to kill for it.
He has a knife, a hunting knife. This is no game of hide and seek. This man means to kill me. He means to kill me, cut me up into pieces, take the pieces that interest him, and leave the rest of me lying on the floor to bloat in the heat, just like the elephant carcass in the bush.
Hobbo finds that his very presence jeopardizes the lives of his family in this cruel new world, and flees with the murderous Alisiri on his heels in order to protect his family and save himself.
I understand now how small my world used to be, and yet I miss it. I miss knowing the routine, knowing I would go to school, knowing it would have been awful, knowing I would come home and eat, knowing I would herd the goats, knowing I would have dinner with my family and sleep, knowing that I would do it all again in the morning. Now I'm on my own, and I have no idea what will happen or what I'm going to do.
Unfortunately, Hobbo's story stems from a very real situation in Tanzania, where people who suffer with albinism are hunted for their body parts. Can a boy on his own in a savage world outrun the murderous intentions of a seasoned hunter? Can he find understanding, respect, and love in a world where luck is valued more than humanity? How will he ever live without constantly looking over his shoulder? The answers to these questions can be found in the book Golden Boy, written by Tara Sullivan.